If you've ever wondered why some artists sell more than others at art fairs, sometimes it's their art for sure, and sometimes it's the way they have their booth designed. But more often than not, it is their price ladder. So today in this video, I want to share with you a simple formula that I use in my art booth to make more sales. And why should you listen to me? Well, I've been doing art fairs full time for more than 10 years. I sell my work all over the Midwest, and I regularly make $5,000 in sales in a single weekend, but every once in a while I'll even make up to $10,000 of sales in a weekend. So let's get into it. First, let's look at who this method works best for. If you're an artist who wants to also sell art prints, then this is going to be perfectly suited for you. Also, if you're an artist who wants to make only originals, but you have a wide variety of sizes of your work, so some that you can make at different lower price points and then some at higher price points, then this is also going to be a strategy that will work for you. But if you are an artist who wants to sell only originals, they're at the extreme high price points, let's say they're in the $1,000 range and up, then this pricing strategy might not work as well for you. So what is a price ladder? Basically, it's a structured set of price points that make it easy for customers to understand what your artwork is and why it's priced in a certain way when they walk in your booth. You don't want a customer, when they come in, to see, let's say, a $500 painting that's really small and then another $500 painting that's really big right next to it, because instantly they're going to be wondering, well, why is there such a price difference between these two things? And it's going to cause confusion. And that confusion might be enough to stop them from even thinking about purchasing any further. I mean, they might just leave your booth at that point. And so putting some structure to this is why a price ladder is really good, and it helps make sales so much easier. It also helps customers feel comfortable with purchasing because they'll be able to easily see where their budget fits, whether it's at a lower price point or a higher one. The first rung of our price ladder is the entry level price point. And I like to put this somewhere in the $20 range. You might even go up to $25 for your lowest priced item if you're selling at really good fine art fairs, like higher level ones. But I think having anything higher than $25 for your initial entry level price point is probably a mistake. So $20 to $25. And why? Well, this is because people who are walking into your booth are often wanting to make an impulse buy. $20 makes it a really attractive purchase for the buyers that are in that mindset. And the majority of buyers that are coming to these types of events are in that mindset. So if you want to broaden the scope of potential people who will buy your work, having entry level pricing is super important. And what I like to do for this is have my art prints in the $20 price range. Now, some artists will have small originals in that price range. I even heard recently of one watercolor artist selling bookmarks that were originals for $20, and evidently he sold a lot of them. So I think this is a really cool little niche tactic if you are a watercolor artist. But the idea here is to have something that you're selling that you can produce a lot of that's in the $20 price point. Next are the mid-level price points. And I say price points plural because I've found that it's best to have two mid-level prices. I like to have pieces that are for sale in the $60 to $65 range, and then have another set of pieces that are for sale in the $100 to $110 range. This makes it really convenient for buyers who are wanting something a little bit better than a paper print, but that don't have tons of money to spend. Because especially with how our economy is right now, a lot of buyers fit into this group. What I like to do for my mid-level pricing is to sell canvas prints. This is because I can make them for very affordable prices. I make them all here in my studio. So I make a really good profit margin on selling an 11 by 14 canvas print for $65, as well as selling a 16 by 20 inch canvas print for $100. And I find that these price points are easy sells for customers who are wanting something that's ready to hang. Another option is if you don't want to make canvas prints, you could frame some of your paper prints. Also, if you're wanting to only sell originals, you could just make miniature originals that you can sell in the $100 price range. Next are the higher price points. And in this section of the price ladder, I like to have three different price levels. So So first are the $300 range items. Now what I like to do for this is have primarily canvas prints as well, but make larger sizes like 24 by 30 or maybe a little bit larger than that. So that way there's something really large hanging on the wall of my booth and it helps pull people in. It's also kind of aspirational to those people who are thinking about buying a smaller canvas print. Like they would really like that bigger one, but $300 often is out of people's budget, especially if they're the impulse buy type of shoppers. And so when they see that, they'll want it, but if there's a smaller version of it available on canvas, it makes that one seem like a really good deal. And oftentimes it gets them to want to purchase. And this is the important point I'm wanting to make with these higher pricing tiers. You might not sell them as often, but they help to anchor the rest of the pricing in your booth in a buyer's mind. And so this way it's justifiable if you have a very large canvas print for $300 to then be charging $65 for these smaller canvas print. If they don't have something to see in your booth to help anchor the pricing in their minds, then what they're left doing is comparing the canvas print that you have in your booth to maybe the canvas print they saw at Hobby Lobby, which is probably half the price, and you don't want that. The next step up on the price ladder are the $400 and $500 original paintings. I like to have quite a variety of these in my booth. They're 16 by 20 inches to maybe 18 by 24 inches in size for my pricing. Now you might have different sizes if you're selling your work for a little bit more money, but ultimately here you want to have some paintings that are in the $400 to $500 level. And this way it's a little bit more expensive than your largest canvas print, but not so far out of reach that the buyers couldn't justify it in their minds. Then after that, you want to have one piece in your booth that's higher than everything else. I always have a $1,500 painting. It's a 24 by 36 or larger piece that I've spent an entire month creating. I have it framed in a really beautiful frame, and it sets off the entire booth. And people see it from outside the booth and it pulls people in. Then they see the $1,500 price tag and they're like, wow, that's expensive. But I always surround it on either side with a section of lower priced original paintings. So when they see the $1,500 price tag and then the smaller painting next to it for a price they could actually afford, it makes them in their mind think, yes, this is a really good deal. Because anytime psychologically that you can have a customer see something that they really, really want, and then instantly they connect the idea, oh, this is a value, this is a good deal, then they feel comfortable that they're making a purchase that comes out in their favor. And this is one thing that you really have to hone in on, is trying to put yourself in the mind of your potential buyers. Because we always see everything from the artist's perspective. So we're seeing lots of art. We know that there's probably art more expensive than ours or even cheaper than ours, maybe better quality than ours or worse. So we kind of know where we fit within the market. But the buyers that are walking into your art booth, oftentimes they don't know anything about art. They have no experience with judging what's quality, what isn't, what prices are good, what prices are bad, what's being taken advantage of and what's a good deal. And so in their mind, they're just judging from what they see. And that's why it's really important to have one piece in your booth that's higher priced than everything else. And it's really easy for the buyer to understand why. That's why size is a really easy thing for them to understand. A really expensive frame, something that sets it off and makes it look definitely worth more money than everything else in your booth. But it's also important to have it still look similar to everything because you want your booth to have the same vibes. You don't want to create something in a completely different style. But as long as it fits your same style, but it's just bigger, better, more expensive, and the buyer can understand easily why it's priced at more, this will help you sell a lot more of the lower priced work. And this is one of the things I commonly see when I'm walking by people's art booths, is they have a lot of work and it looks all the same size and the prices are very similar. And to the buyer, what is making that work seem like a good value? So make sure to have artworks that you have at an entry-level price, mid-level pricing, and higher price levels. So there is a good product mix for all different types of income levels of buyers who are coming into your booth. The next thing that can either make or break your sales at art fairs is how you talk to customers. And I have an entire playlist, you can check it out right here, that gives a lot of my best tips on how I interact with customers in my art fair booth. Well, I hope it helps. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.